Hey, it's Vedant, and this is MagiCode. It's my submission for the 2024 Swift Student Challenge. Now, MagiCode actually uses hand tracking for the entire experience. So it's using Apple Vision to track your hand, and a lot of the animations and how UI elements respond are actually inspired by Apple Vision Pro and Vision OS. You're able to personalize the experience by entering your name, and once that's done, you can hit Start. Now, once the user hits start, they are prompted with the MagiCode usage instructions. I'll go ahead and put the video on screen of what it is like to use MagiCode with hand tracking, as it is a bit hard to demo it with a screen recording, but essentially past the usage instruction screen, everything can be done with hand tracking. Now, a lot of this hand tracking, like I said, was inspired by Apple Vision Pro and the eye tracking inside the Vision Pro and Vision OS and how many of the UI elements respond. So there's a multitude of apps in the experience once the main story is complete. Once user is done reading the instructions, they can go ahead and hit continue and they're brought into the experience. After this point, everything is done via hand tracking. So we're brought into the Apple logo, kind of inspired by how the Vision Pro boots up. And here we are. So this is how the story is told throughout my 2024 Swift Student Challenge submission through the Messages app. So as I bring my hand in front of my iPad, again, I'm not touching the iPad at all now. You can see where my index finger and thumb are, and so I can just hover over the message and just pinch to select. Now, the story for 2024 is that you have to help the Apple team by compiling the latest updates. And you do that through the Code Edit app, which is inspired by Xcode. So to open the Code Edit app, which we're prompted to do, we just hover over it and pinch to select. Now, this is just some sample code I wrote, and again, the personalization comes into play here and in Messages as well. But in order to run this code to compile the update, we just simply hover over the play button and it compiles. Then we're brought back to the Messages app, and that kind of completes the story. So we can go ahead and close the Messages app. Now within MagiCode, there are 5 main apps, as well as an app info and settings. Settings controls the tracking intensity, tracking accuracy, and pinch distance, so things for tracking. App info is kind of like Spotlight on macOS, where you can open it and it'll tell you what all the apps do. So the 5 apps we have are Countdown, Magic Draw, Messages, Code Edit, and Photos. So let's start with the Countdown app. So normally with my submissions, I've loved to have a countdown to WWDC 2024. As of the recording of this video and as of the time I'd compiled the Swift Student Challenge, there was no date for WWDC 2024. So instead I put a countdown until June, where WWDC is typically held. Now the next app is Magic Draw, and as you can see, as I move my fingers over the icons, they hover as they would on Apple Vision Pro. So we can go ahead and open Magic Draw. This is one of my favorites. If I grab my Apple Pencil off my iPad, I can draw on the canvas like that, or I can use my hands, and again, I'm not touching the iPad here, to draw on the canvas. I'm just pinching my index finger and thumb together to draw here. And if I want to clear, I can hover over that trash icon, and you can see it hovers as I move my hand over it. And I can pinch to delete. The next 2 apps we already have seen, that those are Messages and Code Edit. Messages is how the story is told throughout MagiCode. And Code Edit is how you compile the latest update. You can always come back in here and compile it again. Now the final app in this experience is the Photos app. Now the background for MagiCode was actually taken at Apple Park Visitor Center, and I included some more photos I took that didn't exactly make the final cut. But as you can see, as I hover over the photos, they have a light glow, just as they would with the eye tracking on Vision Pro. I can go ahead and click into a photo here, just by pinching my index finger and thumb. And just like many of the buttons, as you hover over the back button, it highlights. Go ahead and close that. And this is MagiCode, my submission for the 2024 Swift Student Challenge. Really happy with how this turned out, and especially with the vision hand tracking. It's a really fun way to interact, and I really wanted to make a lot of the UI kind of animate as you move your hands. With that being said, you can check out the MagiCode Swift Playground in the GitHub link below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.